just vibe with it, like only on Insta. And
So, Women About Business is a monthly talk for career women and women who do business. The idea really came about when I was consulting a lot of women on best practices when it comes to negotiation in terms of salaries, in terms of contracting and getting new gigs, but also female entrepreneurs who are struggling to have access to the same access to tools and expertise and networks really that men have access to. And this information is out there, but a lot of women are finding it hard to reach out to each other, find each other, and connect. And so I thought it would be a great idea if we have people who have been through the struggle, who have been through climbing up the career ladder, who have been through building a business from scratch, and sharing these ideas for a broader audience to see. So we talked about it on a cup of coffee, and I said, you know what, this has to be a segment on my show. So here we are.
Well, welcome everybody. This is another episode of Women About Business. Of course, we are at it. And as usual, we invite every week any phenomenal, inspiring, fantastic woman that can share their journey with us as in terms of entrepreneurship. And it's every week, it's such an exciting conversation. So I'm your host, Miss Ava, together with my lovely co-host.
Kimberly Ofori.
Good. How have you been, Kimberly?
Yes, I mean, I'm good. I can't complain. I'm blessed.
Hmm.
How about you?
I am good. It's been a hectic day, but I think that's part of the entrepreneur life that I love. I don't have to ask for anyone's permission to do a dentist appointment in the middle of the day.
That is exactly, I can tell you. I mean, this Monday has been the most. It has stretched me. Today I actually pitched in front of the Minister of Economic Affairs and the Director of ING and all of those. They are part of like this committee, a board, and to review a proposal that we submitted. And it was just, the tension was like here, it was tangible, like, but I think it went well. We'll hear more soon. So keep thumbs up for that. Fingers crossed, I should say.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, you can be proud of yourself having nailed that, in front of people that what is it they do? They
So, Women About Business is a monthly talk for career women and women who do business. The idea really came about when I was consulting a lot of women on best practices when it comes to negotiation in terms of salaries, in terms of contracting and getting new gigs, but also female entrepreneurs who are struggling to have access to the same access to tools and expertise and networks really that men have access to. And this information is out there, but a lot of women are finding it hard to reach out to each other, find each other, and connect. And so I thought it would be a great idea if we have people who have been through the struggle, who have been through climbing up the career ladder, who have been through building a business from scratch, and sharing these ideas for a broader audience to see.
So we talked about it on a cup of coffee, and I said, you know what, this has to be a segment on my show. So here we are.
Well, welcome everybody. This is another episode of Women About Business. Of course, we are at it. And as usual, we invite every week any phenomenal, inspiring, fantastic woman that can share their journey with us as in terms of entrepreneurship. And it's every week, it's such an exciting conversation. So I'm your host, MS.ABA, together with my lovely co-host,
Kimberly Ofori.
Good. How have you been, Kimberly?
Yes, I mean, I'm good. I can't complain. I'm blessed.
It's such an exciting conversation.
How about you?
As in terms of entrepreneurship. I am good. It's been a hectic day, but I think that's part of the entrepreneur life that I love. I don't have to ask for anyone's permission to do a dentist appointment in the middle of the day.
That is exactly, I can tell you. I mean, this Monday has been the most. It has stretched me. You know, today I actually pitched in front of the Minister of Economic Affairs and the Director of ING and all of those. They are part of like this committee, a board, and to review a proposal that we submitted. And it was just, the tension was like here, it was tangible, like, but I think it went well. We'll hear more soon. So keep thumbs up for that. Fingers crossed, I should say.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, you can be proud of yourself having nailed that, in front of people that what is it they do? They either they intimidate you or either they challenge you to be better and to deliver fantastic work. So hats off to you for doing such a phenomenal job and be here at this evening. So let's get straight to business. Could you tell us a bit about the next guest and what we're going to talk about?
Absolutely. So I'm super excited about this guest. So her name is Vivian Acquah. I actually noticed, I got in touch with her through LinkedIn. And I saw some of the posts that she was sharing around diversity in the workplace, equality, but also her hashtag humanize the workplace. And I was really intrigued by that. I had never heard anything like it. I was like, what's this girl with the purple braids talking about humanizing things, right? So I believe I reached out to her, sent a connection request, and at the time I was busy. I don't know if you remember, I was busy setting up this platform for women, a digital platform. And I was looking for people for the pilot group, and so we had a call. And that's when I really started to dig deeper into what she does. And she's phenomenal. She's a workplace expert. And she's so much more. She has so many hats. So I'm really happy that she is making the time for us today and exploring you know, what we're doing. So it's like somebody that I am even keen to find out more about, because I feel like we've only scratched not even the surface of what she does and why she does what she does. And so, I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, definitely. Without further ado, let's just welcome Vivian Acquah in the conversation. Hello, Vivian.
Hi,
how are you doing?
Hi, lady.
Hey,
Wow, what an introduction. I am flattered and also honored. I mean, when you tell me who is this girl, just know this girl is just turned 40. Yeah, she's just 40.
Oh,
You're, si-
why,
you're
why
young
are
at
you
heart.
telling?
40 is the
I'm
new
just
20.
telling because
40 is
I
the
am
new
proud of
20.
my age. I look fresh. I look young. And I don't want to hide anymore. I mean, I'm not showing off the gray hairs under the scarf. Well, my gray is in my purple hair, right? But I just want
You
people
look
to know that
fabulous.
I've been there for a while. So thank you.
Why are you telling? Why are you telling?
It's not
Keep
a
keep.
secret. I'm very proud of it. I'm very
Uh,
proud. I look
uh,
fresh.
You look fabulous.
let's keep the Caucasians wondering why you are ever never
It's
30.
not only the Caucasians, the black people are also wondering from time to time. I know that my
Right.
partner, who is white, he knows the trick. So every
Yeah.
time that I explain to him, okay, what is the age of this person? And he already knows, okay, I have to add at least 5 to 10 years so that I know that it's the real age. And it is.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. And I know, I remember, I think you shared something on either Facebook or LinkedIn about your
Yeah.
birthday turning 40. So I do know. But to me, I'm saying girl because I feel like it's always going to be that girl power, right? Regardless
Thank
of the
you. Thank
age.
you.
So
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
appreciate that. I
absolutely.
appreciate that.
Absolutely. Bravo for keeping the looks like you're never 30.
Doesn't crack at all. No cracks.
Again, thank you so much for being on. I like the vibe of your setting. Like it just
Mhm.
oozes, live stream talk. Come into my living room. Let's talk workplace and so much more. I love that setting.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love that setting. So we know you obviously, both of you, both of us know you, Vivian Acquah. You appear on our timeline so many times, being this impactful lady. But could you tell us in your own words, who would you or how would you describe yourself to be?
Okay, so to share some honesty, because I think that some of you might know me from Cooking Back to Our Roots, which I did a few years ago with even your sister, Abba. So,
Yeah,
what can I say? I'm a very versatile woman. First of all, I'm Ghanaian, born and raised in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and I'm a proud mom. And the reason why I'm sharing that is because the change that I made, the shift that I'm doing, the advocating that I'm doing, even, the ripple effect that I'm creating regarding the workplace, it's because of my son. My son, I see my son as my life coach. He is at an age where he can be annoying from time to time. He's 7. He just turned 7 right now. But I listen in between the things that he's sharing. So at the age of 4, know that I had a conversation with my partner and he told us this is a fixed mindset. Mind you, he did not get it from us. He got it from school where they teach the children each year in and year out, about fixed mindset and growth mindset, which a lot of adults need at the moment, but that's another
right.
topic, right?
Yeah,
And listening in between, because I do believe that kids say the darnest things, but I also do believe that, my child has an old soul. I don't know who his old soul is or what, but sometimes kids do say the darnest things. And when you
yeah,
listen closely, they will guide you towards a new path which is colliding with your path. And that's how I see my son. So my son is Orlando, he's biracial, and he's so much more. He's so much more than that. So when it comes to Vivian Acquah, I have a history in finance and consulting and ditched that because I faced pregnancy discrimination at the time that I was pregnant. And I realized that the workplace where I was working for
yeah,
could either kill me or I have to move away to prevent that. So I moved. Once my son was about 4 months old, I moved. I first ventured out as a nutrition advocate, helping others, but also helping the community eat healthier. But I noticed that a lot of people were complaining about the stress, complaining about the workplace. And that's when I started investigating in workplace wellness, which is to me a holistic way of taking care of your people by providing them options. So not only providing them options regarding mental well-being or physical well-being, but also help them regarding career well-being, right? Promotion, help them with the financial health. How many people, especially now, how many people are financial healthy, and how many people are financial unhealthy? Where how many companies are helping their people to become healthy? And you might think like, okay, why should a company help their people to become financial healthy? When people are facing financial struggles, they bring it back to the workplace. And when they bring it back to the workplace, that means that they are unproductive. They can be unproductive, but also there have been, situations in the past where an employee was a bit creative with the bookkeeping, where they kept a little bit for themselves. And I'm not saying that everybody with financial challenges is going through that situation, but then again, there's so much that an employer can invest in the employee to prevent, that phase that an employee is going through, to prevent it from becoming worse. Because when it's worse, it's like quicksand, and then all hell breaks loose.
Right.
That was, I had to think on that. What a good way to start somewhere. And then by studying your, not your audience, but your, I think clients is such a harsh word for it, but really studying the person, your focus group. Yeah,
definitely.
And then you end up really looking at what health is in the broadest terms.
Mm-hmm.
And then finding out that the workplace is actually goes beyond the nutrition part.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
wow.
I mean, the way you come to work is detrimental, but also the way you leave your workplace can be detrimental for your own happiness. And why not?
Yeah.
Why not look into the workplace where people can be themselves and also become happy? But don't forget the stress that you have at work, you bring back at home, and the stress that you have at home, you bring it to work. We don't have an on and off switch where we can put our mask off and not feel anything and go through our day like it's nothing. And I know that we Black people, we pretend. And I want us to stop pretending anymore, because the time that we always have to stay strong, it's not there. It isn't there. And it's unhealthy for our health.
It's not healthy, and it's not helping us, right? It reinforces the whole stereotype. People saying that we're angry, or we don't know how to communicate.
Mm-hmm. We have emotions. That's what we have.
Are like,
we like to share it.
Yeah, because now we can't express ourselves, because a lot of the times the environments that we are in are not inviting to us.
Yes.
So then we hold it in, but that means we're not engaging in conversation. I know all of us have been there at some time in our career where your superior, your senior, your manager will go like, you know what, you're great at your job, but we wish, and then fill in the blank.
That's the moment that you have to evaluate. Is this a place where you want to stay for the next 2 years? If you feel comfortable and you're okay with it for the next 2 years, I mean, that's totally fine. But eventually there will be, some rapture within you saying that I don't want to stay here, or you're being held, small. Why are we being held small all the time? And I realized that after becoming a mom. So that thing that every mother is sharing, even Beyonce is sharing, she has a superpower when she became a mother. I can say it's true. It's true. Definitely it's true. The amount of endorphins, but also there is a rise of the phoenix within you that says, I don't tolerate this BS anymore.
Yeah. So do you think that, based on your experience and interacting with so many people realize that, do they realize the importance of having a healthy workplace?
They are starting to realize it, and I am just talking about everything. So being a workplace wellness advocate doesn't mean that I only talk about the kumbaya thing, so the things that make you happy, but I'm also exposing topics like imposter syndrome, also exposing how important it is to lead with purpose, and addressing things that leaders should know, but I also believe that employees should know it as well. So I'm talking about taboo topics, which aren't really topics that a lot of people are talking about in the workplace, and I'm just having open conversations about it, because I do feel like we need to raise awareness to prevent others from making that same mishap.
Yeah, I
And
love that.
on that topic, you've touched about a little bit, how you rolled into this. What exactly, for those who don't know, I'm keen to know, what exactly does a wellness workplace advocate, workplace expert do?
Yeah. So my expertise is in workplace wellness, and there are different, workplace experts out there, but you have to see it as the sustainable employee sustainability. So most of the time when somebody's called in for corporate wellness or workplace wellness, they only look at the physical well-being. And I want to look into your mental well-being, because the state that we are into, especially now with this lockdown, our mental well-being is being challenged, not only for the colored people, but also for everybody who's working from home, who isn't accustomed to to working remotely, but also working with your kids, right? I mean, I have to admit, the first few weeks it was just like something exploded in my head. I need to shift from being a freelancer, being a teacher, being a partner, not being able to, to vent out, as in going out or going to event, because every week I was at an event to network and to build on my, to build my, not my empire, but just to build my network, to let people know what I do. And for me, it's also a way to be me. And now I'm contained at home. I don't feel like a prisoner, but the first few weeks I did feel like a prisoner. And also there's a lot happening, which was new to me, was new to my partner, but also new to our son, who had to deal with his parents 24/7. He knows it right now. But let's say that I'm the bad cop, my partner is the good cop, and sometimes we switch. So it was a lot for him, but he's glad that the schools are open right now, and so am I.
And so are you, right?
Yeah.
I can imagine. So look.
Yes.
So looking at the work that you do, when you come into a corporate company, I would assume that you come, or a company comes to you with a problem, or any of that. How does your work, like in practical, look like? Could you give us a view on that?
It can be different. So from time to time, I've been called in to do workshops, to give people vitality workshops, or one of the things that is popular right now is Pump Up the Jam workshops, where I share tips about how people can pump up their own jam. Because when you go from school to the workplace, so when you graduate, you go to the workplace, nobody teaches you how to be mindful. Nobody teaches you how to switch off, and nobody teaches you how to say no, or to put boundaries, especially when you are stressed or you are overwhelmed. And that's where I come in, where I provide people tools to take better care of themselves, because you can give all towards the company, but that causes us to burn out faster. And what I've seen and what the statistics are showing is people are burning out faster. A lot of people are stressed, and we're doing a lot of things because we're on all the time. We're on our phone, we're on the laptop, we're now doing a live stream. So after this, I'm taking 1 hour to relax, because for me, that's a way to recharge myself. But we are on all the time, especially now when people don't know that they have to set boundaries. So this is my office. This is where I am at. And from the moment that I'm done with this broadcast, or from the moment that I'm done with work, I close the door and goes downstairs.
Yeah. What a good way to shut it down.
To have like separate workplaces or
You
places.
need that. Even when you are working and living in a studio, you can still separate yourself from your work life situation, because once you do that, you don't feel the urge to open up the laptop and then, oh, let me do one mail. Oh, let me do one mail, and one mail becomes 2 hours, and 2 hours become 5 hours, and 5 hours become 6 hours. And now coming to, the R is in the month right now, coming towards the darker days, we need that time to get coffee or to get tea. We need those 5 minutes to recharge ourselves. And when you're working from home, the tendency is that you keep going on, keep going on. And before you know it, it's already 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock or maybe 9 o'clock, and you're still watching, you're still sitting behind the screen. And also,
Yeah.
this screening, too much screening on a day, it's hurtful for your mind. It will impact your sleep quality. It will impact your mood. It will have so much impact on yourself that eventually you start, wearing glasses or bigger glasses, or right now at the moment it's dark. I have my night lamp, but what you don't see is that I have a red screen. So I've turned on the night light for my screen so that the light isn't too bright, especially now in the evening.
Right. So you've set up everything just to make sure you're okay. That's
Yeah,
basically what you've
definitely,
done.
definitely, because it can affect my sleep quality if I sleep with the phone. So watching the phone or watching the news or my phone with a bright screen, it will affect my sleep.
Yeah, it does. It does. And so this is really interesting. And I love like you
Mm-hmm.
kind of went deeper into, already the health aspect. I wanted to find out from you, Vivian.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how is your work? How has the work that you do changed the way you do business as an
Yes.
entrepreneur?
Yeah.
It has changed. So for me, going to workshops at physical events, it's different. Now I'm doing everything virtually. I had to pivot. I was doing workshops online already, but here in the Netherlands, we want to see people. I don't know if they want to smell me as well, but they want me there, present.
Yeah.
And now I am, I mean, I have to be honest, the first month, a lot of the companies were tight on their finances because they didn't know how long it would take, and they had to save their people, and also they were on a lockdown financially. But now I'm seeing more and more people hiring me for the workshop. So I am doing a lot virtually, but I have my tax. I don't want to get Zoom fatigue. So what I do is I do one Zoom, take a break for an hour, do something reading or listen to a podcast or listen to a listen book or do some research, everything that doesn't have to do with the screen. And then I do something else. And my tax is, I think about 2 or 3 workshops a day, because giving a workshop online, it's
It's
intensive.
intense.
And also know that I am a teacher. I teach on Hogeschool Utrecht, personal branding, personal identity. So that's something that I do for 4 hours with a half-hour break. I love it, and it's really nice. But it is intensive to teach in that way or to help people from abroad. But I know that the current situation, I think that it will assume for at least 1 year, maybe 2 years.
It would it would it would
Yeah,
be like this, definitely.
yeah,
I totally feel the same. I teach
yeah.
digital marketing and social media marketing at a business school, and I do
Mm-hmm.
realize that having run 2 sets of 3 hours, I'm like exhausted afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Looking at your expertise and your experience, and how did you find out the kind of solution as to how to cope with this, and how does anybody in corporate world, being in a company going through changes where they haven't even measured if the new work mode even is good for their people? How do you, as a career person, know what your limit is. Like,
I
where
know
does that even
myself.
start?
I know myself. Again, I'm 40, and it comes, I have to be wise with my time, especially ever since my son came. I thought I could fit him in my schedule. No, he fits us in his schedule, and we have to work around that. So I have to be very concise with my time, but also know my limits. Of course, I have bumped my hips from time to time and don't know it all,
Yeah.
but from the moment that I bump my head, that's a signal. Sometimes you get a tick on your shoulder, and if you don't listen, somebody's tapping you on your cheek. And if you don't listen to that, somebody will smack you in the face, and then you will listen. But sometimes that phase is too late. So I listen to the shoulder tap, and sometimes the tap on the face, but I can never let it go towards the smack in the face because it can
Right.
hurt me.
It could be detrimental to your health.
Yeah. Yeah.
What and that's what you stand for, and that's
Yeah,
really
definitely. So look at your sleep quality, look at what you're eating, look at really listen to yourself, listen to when you're tired. If you're tired, just take a 15-minute break. And what works is go outside, go for a walk. You'll feel more energized and you'll be more inspired after walking than sitting there and continue the conversation.
Yeah,
I think
and I
that's
know as Black people in a predominantly white country, I think maybe 90% of us have had this conversation about work ethic and how the pressure is different from when you are, well, we perceive it to be different from when you are a Black person who needs to get good results or wants to show that they are capable, and compared to a Caucasian counterpart or whatever other nationality.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, it comes also from home, right? The way that I was raised,
Exactly.
like work harder, you have to excel, etc., etc. So I have that. I also have the upbringing, from what I learned being raised here in the Netherlands. So that's a double load. And then I have to find my own compass. And again, I have 15 years of experience, and I have seen workplaces that worked, workplaces that were really horrible, and not from the people, but from the environment itself.
Yeah.
And also workplaces that I would say, going for certain big names, I would say run, because if you have to know yourself, really, you have to know yourself, know your values, and align those values with the company's values. Don't go for the big names. Go for a company that fits your values. And it might be a big name, but it might also be a smaller name as well.
Yeah, and that's where, and here's where I wanted to go with this question. I think that when we're speaking about being healthy in the workplace and pressure and stress, this is something that I personally have recognized myself also coming from a household where it was told and understood that, you need to get that A at all times. Even at work, even though we're not grading anymore, right?
Yeah.
And so it kind of transcends, and then it becomes big because now I think a lot of us who are born and raised here with immigrant parents, we are inherently more ambitious because we're seeing different things, right? Our lenses are different. And so we have that pressure of also wanting to make sure that we make our parents proud, that they didn't come here for nothing, all of those things.
Yeah.
And then you come to the workplace and you realize that it's like this constant uphill battle of proving yourself after proving yourself. And until you can make two choices. For me personally, it was, who am I doing it for? That was the first thing that I had to ask myself. And then what am I looking to achieve? And so once I understood that I was doing it for them, then I understood that whatever I was looking to achieve, I was never going to get there because it was never going to be enough. I had to set the standard. But I think that a lot of us are still going to struggle with this, especially young women. And so my question to you is, what do you have to say to a young Black woman who is in her mid-30s, maybe? Or no, let's go back to beginning of her
25.
career, beginning of her
Right.
career, early 20s.
I would say put your ego aside, put your put everything aside and ask people, support people, ask for help. I know I've been raised Ghanaian, and the thing is, Ghanaian is you keep everything inside. You don't, you don't bring your dirty laundry out there. But asking
Yeah,
for
guilty.
help, asking for help isn't putting your dirty laundry out there, because you need people around you. You need people who support you. You need to find your tribe. And what helped me was finding a mentor, finding a tribe, talking to people, that understand me, because I have my friends, I have my business friends, and I have, my mentors or confidants, and I have, different
Yeah.
circles for different occasions. And you need that, because my friends, the ones that I do dinner with, they don't understand the struggles that I've been going through, especially during this COVID. But yet my my LinkedIn friends or my business friends, they do understand, because they are going through that. So I say reach out, find a mentor as soon as possible, and a mentor can be somebody you admire. Talk to them. If they don't say anything, or they can't help you, go to the next one. Please don't be disencouraged because somebody's saying no. It's your no, their no might be your yes and your blessing not to work together with them. So go on to the next one. Don't feel discouraged. Just ask somebody, and if they don't know, ask them if they know somebody else that can help you with the quest that you're going on. Please don't feel ashamed to ask me or to ask the ladies here, because I also feel like we need to support each other and we need to be open. And that's also one of the things that I do during Humanize the Workplace. I have these open discussions. I'm very open. Some of you don't know it. I'm introverted, so I have my introverted moments from time to time. But when you see me, you see this persona, you see this ambivert woman. But that's also because I know how to switch it on and off. But know that in the meantime, when you don't hear me, when you don't see me, that's when I recharge and reload and do my things. But we need to support each other more. That's it. I mean, I might not know how to help you now, but I've built up so a vast network, a huge network, international network, that there might be somebody within my network that can help you. I cannot guarantee what they will do. I can only direct you to that person, and the rest is up to you.
That is so
Sure.
valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would definitely agree. It takes a bit of boldness, and I think what you just shared really, empowers others to be like,
I wish
you know what,
I knew. I wish I knew how to, at a younger age, how
Yeah,
to
me too.
invest and build in a network. And now what I'm teaching at the students is this: the students that you see now, this is your network. Invest in them; they will invest in you, because you never know in 10 years' time, or maybe in 5 years' time, what they can do for your business, your career, or even your startup. So invest.
Yeah,
And
totally
LinkedIn.
agree.
People hate it when I say too much LinkedIn, but I am a LinkedIn fan, and it's because it has brought me so much. But also the fact that we can talk on a business level there, because sometimes on Facebook or on other platforms, people get a bit sidetracked by some of the DMs, and I am a person. I'm very serious. If you're not serious, then
You said that so nicely. Sidetracked by the DMs.
You know what I mean.
I definitely get it.
That
Definitely
is
get
hilarious.
it.
No, I resonated with two things of what you just said. So personally as well, very introverted, always have been, very proudly so. I think it comes with a lot of experience and years to develop kind of the skill to tap into the other side of you, where you can be open, where you can be sharing, be around people, it's very draining at the same time. And so you need to be cautious of your energy, right? Because it's not something that comes naturally to you if you're an introvert. So it's like, okay, I'm now going to talk to people. I'm now going to be social, right? So you're consciously doing that exercise.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk to you about something much deeper. And I think we touched about, on the fact that, as if you are a minority in the workplace, now as a woman who is Black.
You're touching the intersectionality part. Yes, come on.
Let's talk imposter syndrome. Because, like, for real, this is probably one of the most underlighted but heavy subjects in the Black community, but not just in the Black community, for women in general. And so I am looking to hear from you some of your experiences personally, if you want to share, but also
of course,
kind of take us through how either what you have personally been able to do to overcome, or what you have been or what you've been able to learn from other people who you have helped.
Yeah, and let's also start with, in your own words, what that is. For instance, definitely have people be like, "What is that? Is this sickness?" or
so
something?
the imposter syndrome comes up when you're doing something huge, or you're taking your tango or your dance outside of your comfort zone. So from the moment that you have this thought like, okay, but who are they thinking about? Why are they thinking that I'm an expert? Or why are they approaching me? Don't they know that I'm just starting? Or don't they know that ... And the way that I see the imposter syndrome is I have two Ghanaian aunties on my shoulder and they talk. Who do you think you are? What is this that you're doing? Who are you fooling? You know that African boy. But I do have to say that the imposter syndrome was getting real once the moment that I started becoming a freelancer or dipping my toes in entrepreneurship, because you have to be visible. You have to speak up, because otherwise people won't notice you, people won't see you. And also you have to, if you want to make a difference in the world and if you want to be out there, you have to speak up. You have to do your marketing. You have to, I'm not saying shouting because that's not my style, but my hair shouts for me. My headscarf shouts for me. And that's my way of standing out in the crowd. Besides from being tall, I'm 1 meter 86 people. But as a Ghanaian, I found ways to make myself small. And that's a habit that I inherited because of the workplace, because of me not being valued to my full potential, or me being overlooked. And it's weird, right? Being overlooked and being 1 meter 86. But yes, I was overlooked. Yeah.
Right.
So coming towards imposter syndrome, I would say what helped me most is there are 3 ladies, and I hope that one day you'll interview them. So Sandra Williams, she is a hidden gem within Amsterdam Southeast. She has mentored so many female ladies, even ladies that you see now in the press, on TV. Another lady who is a gem in Southeast is Stephanie Bisa and Mishinu Maduro. The 3 of them formed, let's say, a tribe going social where they empowered women. And it first started out with a writing course. But let me tell you, this sister circle, what they created, I mean, I'm in a sister circle with 30 women. And if you would have seen our growth from the last 5 years, so we started in 2015 and we are still close in contact. You see some of us really excelling right now, and we are supporting each other through WhatsApp. We are supporting each other in a different way that we can. And also because of them, I know how to walk a huge step. Because of them, I know how to dream bigger. Because mind you, I am the first within, well, the second within the family, because I think some of you might know the world of food. My aunt is serving Ghanaian food there. And she
Mhm.
was first as a freelancer or as a caterer. And I'm the
A
second
huge
within the
step.
family who's
Because of
venturing
them.
out as a freelancer. And what it has brought me, I mean, my imposter syndrome even led me towards RTL, RTL News, where I stood there and came on television and, received so much messages from people seeing that they are seeing a Black woman who's standing proud, who's being herself amongst some dull people, but I'm not going to name them. But still, I hope myself, and I hope myself proudly, because I know that I don't only represent myself, I represent my country, I represent women, I represent Black women, and I'm always holding my posture no matter what. So, coming to the imposter syndrome, I'm having one right now, a huge one. That is because I'm doing a huge summit, Amplify DEI summit, and it's just like I don't have time to listen to my imposter syndrome because I need to move on. My dream is so much bigger. It's so much stronger, and I'm thinking about the African proverb, right? So if you think you're small, think about the mosquito being in the room.
Right. Right.
Think about that. I
It's
Yeah,
talk
so
too much. I
definitely.
know.
The mosquito just draws a lot of attention. A lot.
and you can't
Yeah.
ignore it. You can say what you want. You can say it's smaller than you. The mosquito is gonna have your attention and it's
Yeah.
gonna stay there. And I
Yeah.
feel, and I really love what you touched on and how. Thank you for being so open about where you
Mhm.
are now with
Hmm.
this
Mhm.
summit, because I think that's the start of it.
Hmm.
Recognizing it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
recognizing that that's what's happening to you. I think a lot of people are scared to admit
Yeah.
that they feel like an imposter because
True.
we are told at one angle, especially if you are this woman who's supposed to set the example and you're the first of something, you're supposed to feel all confident about things, right? Why are you
Yeah.
feeling like an imposter? I personally, from my personal experience, I have this all the time where people
Hmm.
think, oh, you're so confident, you're so this. Doesn't mean I'm not insecure. It does definitely not mean that I feel qualified all the time, especially
Hmm.
when I know on paper, because that's the thing. On paper, I shouldn't be here, but God. And also, I think that
Mhm.
there's something about having there's this mindset change that I'm now going through where it's about,
Mhm.
okay, it's not necessarily it's how I perceive myself. That's what I'm trying to say.
Hmm.
It's how I perceive myself. So if I perceive myself as being somebody who is not equipped with the skills to handle a certain thing, then
People will
that's
see
the way
you
I'm
like
going
that.
to act.
Yeah.
But at the same time, now what I'm
Mhm.
teaching myself is how can I become? So
Yeah.
I'm no longer saying I can't, I don't have. I'm like, how
Hmm.
can I become knowledgeable about this?
Yeah.
So I say yes, and then I ask myself, okay, now how am I going to get this done?
Yeah.
Uh,
No, that's the best
And it's
way.
hard.
Yeah, that's definitely the best way. That's the best way. So I would say what is also helping is finding your tribe and having these conversations, because I do have to admit that the LinkedIn Live conversation that I've done have boosted my confidence, has boosted my knowledge, but also boosted me in a way that I never knew. And imagine that I've done over 75 conversations. Well, counting when you count in the summit as well, I've done almost at least 200, but that's another thing.
Wow,
yeah,
amazing.
that's good.
Yeah.
What do you recognize in your working, from your working experience? How big of a problem is this in the workforce? How is this among women? Like, what is your
Imposter syndrome in
analysis on this
general,
so
you mean?
far?
Are you talking
in
about imposter
general?
syndrome?
Yeah.
I would say
Do
not
you?
only we suffer from imposter syndrome, but it's
Mhm.
more with women. We can be very harsh to ourselves. And I would say
Right.
find your people, have a conversation, go connect yourself with a network. Is network number one not a right network for you? Go to the next. Go to the
Yeah.
next. Fall and rise up. Fall and rise up. Fall and rise up. That's how I've lived my life the last 5 years, and
Yeah.
it has helped me in a huge way.
Yeah. Do you see any could you like explain why this is predominantly among women? Do you see a particular cause for this? How is
It's
that in your
how
observation?
are we brought up? I have a son, and it's for me it's weird to see him bragging all the time. It starts at a young age. And when women do it or when girls do it, we say stay humble, be yourself. And also know
Yeah.
that my parents, mainly my father, was very old fashioned. I am
Mhm.
born and raised here in the Netherlands, so I rebelled a bit,
Yeah.
and I don't see myself staying in the kitchen. Mind you, if you're a housewife, I'm not discrediting anything, but I don't
Sure.
see that role for myself. And the traditional role, whereas the partner or the husband is working outside and you stay at home and cook, that's not me.
Yeah.
That's not me at
Yeah.
all. So it also, the way we teach our children, and it starts very young. The way we attend, we support ladies, support boys, and I do have to say that boys have much more leeway than girls. My father was strict, very strict, as in we need to give them equal parenting, or we need to raise our children equally. Don't put a tight
Right.
lock on girls thinking that every girl can become pregnant at the age of 15, because that's the phase that my father was going through.
Yeah.
And when you teach them well, you teach them young, you have conversations with them. And I'm saying, like, Orlando is 7, and I'm looking at the youth now, where I'm really holding my heart very tight about the way the youth is here in the Netherlands. I don't know if I want to raise my kid here, but then again, if I move elsewhere, there will be other challenges, right? So as long as I have a good communication with my son, and I know my son, I know when he's down, I know when he's happy, and if there's sometimes kids communicate without saying anything. That's how I see him. And we need
Yeah.
to look more into that as well.
Yeah. I love how you how kind of the life of your son becomes this I'm looking for the right word, but his life tells a story and it ends up
Definitely.
giving
I
you
mean,
lessons, practical ones.
you recognize this.
I do. It's one of the Adinkra symbols, I think,
One
right?
of the Andinkra symbol, girl, Sankofa is my
Oh, now I
mantra.
see it. I had to look at my bigger screen to get that one right. Got it.
Yes, Sankofa is my mantra. I have this tattoo ever since 2012. It's a remembrance of my gran, but it also reminds me of why I have to bring all the things that I've learned from the past, bring it towards my future, because my son is my future. I know
Yeah.
that I had a crappy career when it comes to not having the best in work environment where I could thrive, but then again, I am doing my utmost now to
Yeah.
prevent the BS that happened to me, to prevent that from
Sure.
happening to him, because I cannot tolerate the BS anymore right now. I cannot. But I also
Yeah.
cannot sit back and say all the things, because it's safe to say all the things like this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, without contributing a solution. without providing a solution.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So here is the solution: providing wellness in the workplace. Could you share
So,
with us? Sorry, Kimberly, go ahead.
so I wanted to find out. You mentioned earlier that you're the second person in the family to venture out on your own, um, and be a freelancer, having your own business. What, aside from the bad experience you had at work, because you could have decided to do any other thing. You could have gotten a new job, got into a new industry, waited for a while. Why did you start for yourself? Because that is still a very huge step for a lot of women.
It is, but having experience of so many years, and I was a consultant, so I have seen a lot of workplaces. And to be honest, I'm 40. I don't have the time to go through another phase where I have to dip the waters, test the waters to see if that environment is fitting me, and then to see if I can unmask myself or not. Now they are seeing the truth. Now they are seeing me. As a freelancer, they know what they are getting. They know what I'm about to do, and that's it. That for me is a safe enough. And I want to use all the things that I was prohibited or maybe undervalued in the workplace. I'm using that. I'm utilizing all the magicness because I am a workplace wellness advocate, but I'm also a hard freak nerd. I
Right.
love my tools. I have my gadgets, and the best thing right now is I'm bringing both worlds into one. I'm
Right.
utilizing my power for workplace wellness, but I'm also utilizing the fact that I know
Yeah.
so many tools that I'm confident with using tools, because sometimes we women, especially women, when we don't know how to use WordPress or how to use our tools, we say, "Oh no, never mind." Or we hire people. That's totally fine. But sometimes you have to know your project. You have to know what somebody's doing so that you know how to support yourself, or you know how to go through that. And sometimes you have to just test things.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah. So risk
Totally agree.
taking, but
Yeah.
empowerment, I hear as well. Your self empowerment, like taking control of your life and your future.
Definitely. And the tip that I would have is we live in an age where there's so much knowledge available, because I come from a time where the only knowledge that was there was the library.
Yeah.
Now you can Google. Now you can watch YouTube
Encyclopedia.
videos. Now you can watch podcasts. Now you can even Netflix or LinkedIn Learning. Educate yourself. Always.
Literally no excuse.
24/7.
There is
Read
no
books.
excuse whatsoever.
No, because you can upskill yourself. And if you don't know something now, make sure that you watch a certain movie, go to Coursera. If the budget is tight, go online. If the budget is tight, look somebody up on LinkedIn, ask them, do they want to mentor you? No, go to the next one. Do they want to mentor you? No, go to the next one. Don't give up on yourself, because the moment that you give up on yourself, you give others permission to give up on you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally agree.
Powerful.
So looking back at your journey from finance to now being at this place where you know what is your cup of tea, you know the exact environment you want to be at, the format of working, uh, knowing truly the definition of having a healthy workplace. What are like the three major lessons that you would take and give out there to any young lady that's starting career, probably, just 30 and almost drained, because these days, the 30-ish people of us get burned out. Back in the day, it was somewhere later on. Yeah, what are your major lessons, and what is your word of advice?
Yeah, my advice is, especially to the ladies of now, I know that, our looks our makeup, our hair is everything, and even our nails. I don't care about those things or bags. I want you to invest in this. This is the most sexiest tool that you have, your brain. Invest in that, and the rest will come. Invest in courses, invest in trainings, invest in trainings like you invest in your hair. So if your wig is like 800 euros, I want you to double it, double the investment for yourself.
Oh,
If your
snap.
bag is 500 euros, double the investment in your brain, because it will pay you back.
Absolutely.
It will pay you back.
I love that.
Agreed.
I love that. Amazing.
Agreed. Agreed. So double up that money from the
Yeah.
wig
Double
to
up
the course
money,
or the
invest
books.
in a network, go find networks, go to LinkedIn. It's a valuable network. They have sister circles all over the world. Connect with people who you admire. Maybe start with making a Pinterest board who you admire. My Pinterest board contains Ava DuVernay, Beyonce, Maya Angelou. Who else? I'm forgetting somebody. Oprah, of course, and Miss Obama, Miss Michelle Obama. These women are my member, my board women, the women that I look up to, and I want to hold myself up to these standards. So I'm not there yet, but I'm working up towards that.
I love
I love
it. Amazing. Thank you so much for this, Vivian.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And last but not least, where can people find you, connect with you, and yeah.
The easiest way to reach me is LinkedIn. The second is Twitter. The third is, I would say, Instagram, even though I'm not that active and I dislike the platform from time to time. And Facebook, but Facebook is for me very distracting because I cannot separate. There used to be an option where you can separate Facebook groups from Facebook personal, and now everything is intertwined. Like, I'm hardly reachable, but I am on there. But I am very serious with my business. So when you are, when you're curious about how to level up or how to connect with the right people, just reach me on
Yeah.
LinkedIn or
Gotcha.
Twitter. It's very easy.
Love that. Well, thank you so much, Vivian Acquah, for joining us on this evening and to talk about the lady behind the purple hair.
Yeah.
And also, sharing with us the importance of health in the workplace, and that sometimes the help that we need is beyond our nutrition, but it's the place where we are in on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. Well, thank you so much. We'll be touching down
welcome.
with you. And of course, to all our lovely viewers and listeners that just listen to Women About Business with our lovely guest, Vivian Acquah. We just talked about health at the workplace and so much more. Be sure to follow Women About Business on HiRadio because that's where it airs. Myself and Kimberly, you can find us on social media. Kimberly, I know you're also a LinkedIn thing. I think LinkedIn should become a partner to Vivian. I don't know how
No.
Vivian
LinkedIn
reps
is about
LinkedIn.
when you are a woman about business. If you don't have LinkedIn, you're not about your business.
You're not about your business.
You're not about your business.
Well, definitely. Thank you very much, Vivian, and love to touch base with you very soon. And I know your break has started.
I love it.
Awesome.
So dry.
And we will we will get in touch soon. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right, Kimberly. Well, that was so much inspiration in just within a fraction of an hour.
I love this. You know what I really enjoyed was just pure transparency, honesty, raw truth.
Yeah.
This wasn't like high over your head, over the top kind of information. This was like from experience. This was pure. This is how I dealt with it. This is what I'm dealing with. and here's what I learned, and here's what you can do. And also, I feel like this is one of those episodes where it was so relatable. Anybody can see themselves in that transition to actually taking control. Because how many of us have not experienced at some point? Well, I think all of us, something triggered, the move from, going from corporate to going for yourself. And for a lot of us, that was like being traumatized.
Yeah, it was. It was. It's hard. It's blood, sweat, and tears. Definitely. Definitely. But it's such a good episode. I can't wait till we talk to our next guest. Of course, to all of you listeners and viewers, make sure that you follow. No, you can't follow us yet. You catch up with Women About Business every Tuesday from 7:30 up until 9 p.m., where we talk about women venturing in business, all of the affairs of women in business. Thanks so much. Make sure that you follow Hi Radio on all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at HiRadioNl. I'm your host, MS.ABA, with my lovely co-host, Kimberly Ofori, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm on fire every day, and nothing can stop me, doesn't matter what I face. I am getting bigger every day, every day. I have Jesus in my life, living for his glory. I'm on fire every day, and nothing can stop me, doesn't matter what I face.